Hey guys, what's up? Jack here, and in today's video we have a question that needs to be answered. Are the Forza Motorsport multiplayer lobbies getting better? What I've noticed in the past couple days is I've been getting a lot more really fast competitive drivers in my lobby. I'm starting to recognize a lot more names from a lot of the league racing that I used to do. And in this race we had 3 of the RBM guys in this race. They chose to start at the back. I didn't really notice, and I had qualified all the way up here at the front, but we're gonna have to come from the back just like they did because I hate this corner so much. I love this track, I hate that corner. I mess it up every single time. So we gotta fight our way back up to the front, gotta fight with the mid pack, and then we're gonna try and see what we can do with the guys all the way up at the front of the field. So luckily, they're not all the way in the lead yet, so we still have a chance to fight with these guys as we're battling one right now. We're going to try and make some ground up on the outside, but unfortunately, someone made a move on the inside of that Mercedes and shoved him right off the track, but we were able to keep the car going. We didn't get spun out. And Aston Martin, that's one of those RBM guys, comes around the outside going 3 wide into the entrance to the corner. But we're going to try and make a move on him right here on the outside, as we have a little bit of chaos and a KTM right behind us. The KTM, by the way, if you have not driven it on this track, is amazing. It is amazing. It is one of the fastest cars, if not possibly the fastest car around here now, and it's still the best on tires. So you can run soft mediums without any problems. You could probably go 4 good laps on the softs. So if you haven't given that a go yet, I highly recommend it. It'll pretty much guarantee you one of the best race runs you can get out of your own potential. So here we are sitting behind the Aston Martin trying to make up the ground in front as we have this KTM behind us who does have very good acceleration, so we do need to be worried about it as he gives us a nice little bump as we took a wide entrance into that corner. So my mindset really changes a lot when depending on who's in the lobby. And what we can see here is we have with the RBM guys some really fast league racing drivers. So I'm going to be trying to drive this pretty darn competitively, and I really wanted to get one over on those guys, and unfortunately they're ahead of us right now. So we got to see what we can do about it as we make our way around this Mercedes. And it's not easy in the public hoppers when you have other cars who aren't as clean. But when you get that little bit of a competitive edge, what ended up happening to me is in trying to push myself and keep up with these guys and beat these guys, what I ended up doing is making far more mistakes than I normally would have if I had just run my own race. And that's what I really wanted to emphasize, is you need to run your own race and not get as worried about a lot of the cars behind you, except maybe when they're hitting you, like what's happened there. But my point being, I caused myself to lose a lot of time in this race for no real reason. So we got to make up for the lost time. But overall, this lobby feels a lot faster than my normal lobbies. In normal lobbies, I can do last to first challenges and I'll be in first place by the end of lap 3 or 4. I can even do it on some of the short races. But in this lobby, there were some really competitive guys outside of the RBM guys too. So we get an amazing run out of the last corner and we pull alongside this BMW as we bonk a little bit along the straight as we continue to make more ground up back through the field. Just a nice couple bonks, no big deal, but we're going to try and keep our head down and try and get up to these guys in front and try and keep up with the RBM guys so we can get a nice battle for you. So we got the head down, we see the Corvette in front, we're pushing as hard as we can. He messes up that evil corner. We're going to get a nice run steal alongside, and now we just got to try and finish this pass before we get into the next corner. So hopefully we can get a nice run along the outside, which will force him to back out, and we'll be able to finish the move. There we go. Nice run. And then the goal is to get out of that 7/10 of a second draft. So the tire strategy on this race was we were going to go 6 laps on the mediums and then pit for softs, so we're the fastest at the end of the race. So we're catching up to the RBM guys as they're battling through the guy who was leading the race as they made their way through the field. and we were able to start making up some ground to him. And we really wanted to keep as close as we can, maybe get into that aero wash, and we can be able to hold with them a lot easier. Once we get to that pit stop, we're good to go. And unfortunately, that Viper pushes himself wide, and now we are right on the tracks of the RBM cars. So we're going to be finishing up and skipping ahead to lap 6, where we're going to be fighting the cars on old tires. So the tires are really, really gone at this point. So it's really important to race smart and not overdrive the corner. You might notice the change in tone. Well, I wish I could listen to my own advice, but as we were making up ground on them, on these worn tires, we had a little bit more grip than they did in the Corvette. I just pushed way too hard, not just here, but in the next corner as well, costing us way too much time. And what it ended up doing was it ended up putting us back behind the Viper. Back behind the Viper once we leave pit road. So we're going to come in, come out, and unfortunately the Dodge Viper is going to get back by us, and that's going to really hurt our chances at fighting with those guys. We made a really bad mistake and let them get a lot of ground on us, and now it's just about trying to get around this Viper. But I still in my head think I kind of have a chance at them, and I really want to push, but this is where I pushed way too hard, and I ended up making several mistakes just trying to pass this guy immediately. In my head I'm thinking, I know I'm faster than him and I'm on a faster tire, so I should just be able to pass him right away. I was attempting to make moves at every single opportunity I could, but that was the one thing I should not have done. I should have just stayed patient, stayed right behind him. He has aero wash, he's on slower tires. I should be able to easily make this move and get a good run out of a corner, but no, I keep trying to make a silly move. So right here, I try and dart around the outside of him and lose a little bit of ground. Again, when I could have just stayed, took the normal line, followed him through, and had a chance at him on the exit of this corner, having a much better run. As you can see, I get into the corner and I get off the corner much faster. But what did I do? I ended up costing myself a lot of time because I'm just not patient enough. So we got in the draft and we're going to try and set up another move. Hopefully I don't make another mistake and try and dive bomb him at a stupid point in the track. He overslows a little bit there and we make a little bit of contact, but all is good. We just got to focus on getting a good run out of here, and I make him another mistake trying to go wide and force a mistake out of him. I was going to really try and get a good exit and try and pass him into here, but why is that smart for me? It's not. That was not a smart move that I should have made. I should have waited behind him, because even if I did complete that pass, all it does is give him the draft down this long straightaway to make the move back on me. So right there, I could have been able to pass him into turn 1, but unfortunately with my over-eagerness, I made the mistake and I wasn't able to get by him. So now we're stuck behind him for another lap, and those RBM guys are just pulling further and further away. So unfortunately, it's looking like our chances at a podium are going down quickly, but we are given a glimpse of hope. When riding through here, I look into the timing and scoring and I start seeing a car pop up, and when we come out of this corner, I see that there's one of the RBM cars. He went wide and made a mistake, so now we get a chance, but I see the car and I overdrive because I get excited about seeing him, and I make another mistake, just pushing too hard. All I had to do was just race a nice smooth race. At the start of the race, I made the mistake of overdriving turn 3 and pushed wide and lost that lead. I probably would have been able to finish 2nd or 3rd in this race if I had just driven a nice, clean, smooth race and raced my own race. But because I saw them in this lobby, I changed my mindset, and that was from the mistakes I've made in this race. I've learned that I just need to make sure I stay more steady. So we got one more lap to go to try and get by this Viper. We can still see that car up ahead, but I don't know if we're going to even have time to really make any ground up that's meaningful in this battle. So we're just going to go ahead, put our head down, try and get a little bit of a draft on this Viper. He really doesn't want us to. I'm pretty sure he's going to duck down to the left, so we're going to take the outside, maybe try and work his exit a little bit by holding him on a nice tight line. So we're going to pinch them a little bit on the apex, but I think that was fair, and we got a nice run, and we're going to be able to drive away. Now we just got to break that 0.7 of a second gap, so really get a good exit here, and that should be able to happen because we're on the soft tires. We're going to be able to get that power down a little bit sooner, so we're going to be able to pull that 0.7 of a second gap right then and there. So with the Forza matchmaking, the past couple days, the lobbies I've been racing in have had a lot more depth, and I'm not sure if that's just the community being better at Forza, a larger percentage of the player base that was coming from Game Pass, are they leaving and just not playing as much? I'm not sure what the answer is, but it has been pretty fun the past couple days, and the reception you guys gave the multi-class race that we did was awesome, and I can't thank you guys enough for that. And if you enjoyed it and you want to participate in it, I look forward to seeing you guys on Friday. So as we finish up this race, we take it home in P4 after the mistake on the first lap. We had a good little recovery drive, we had some good battles, but when there's some properly fast guys in here, you should just make sure you race your own race, and you're going to end up having better results. That's the lesson I've learned from this race, and hopefully you guys enjoyed watching this battle in a more competitive lobby, and hopefully the Forza servers are starting to get better. So thank you guys for watching, and look forward to seeing you on the